Hey, 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 what's up? Hotep, Hotep, Aku Jasanel. I say, hmm? Alafia. Shit. What's all that other bullshit? Excuse me, y'all. Hotep, Hotep, family. Hotep. Lord have mercy. Hotep. Peace to the family tonight. Who is that in the chat? I see somebody sitting here already. What's up? Peace to you. Just wanted to visit this subject tonight because I want to throw up a lot of, throw a lot of balls in the air. Pause, because I got to say that when we talking to the brothers from Kemet, we got to say that. Pause. But I want a lot of things up in the air for all of these brothers to catch and deal with, man, because they get away with the worst pseudo thing ever. Always, always attacking, but never defending. Y'all have gotten away with that even for about 4 years, man. From the Kemet on trial, when them boys let y'all live. The worst scholarly thing that causes people like me to like lose respect for you is always being an attacker of other people's paradigms, but never having any answers for what you stand on. Mhm. All of the things that the poor people in Kemet hide. Hey, my brother Hebrews in the hood. Brother says, Shalom, I go in on these hotepers for old time's sake. I'm about to do some Wednesday on these pseudo Canaanites. Family. Brother Micha'EL, I I have Garfield just leaking right now on Facebook over Abraham. I don't know if you've seen that post today or if you've seen the live I just did on Facebook. But Garfield is a master at red herrings. I think he breeds red herrings straight up, like literally breeds them. A riddle maker, the Riddler. I mean, a master at diverting the intellect of the ignorant. I mean, literally, today he used the pseudo ray. Literally, Brother Micha'EL. I asked the brother, well, this morning he asked me to prove Abraham, prove he lived or prove he died or prove something. So I gave the brother, and shout out to Ron Divine. Garfield says Ron Divine dealt with this in a lecture sometime before, but if Ron Divine spoke about it, I wasn't privy to it. I didn't watch it. I didn't see it. Ron is a great scholar, and Ron bears the same spirit that I do, and this brother Micha'EL do, and all of us Israelites that actually study. The same spirit of wisdom. Thank the Lord. If Ron visited it and said it before and I didn't hear it, but now I'm here telling you the same thing in a much more direct fashion, that should be a confirmation for you, Brother Garfield. Brother Miguel said, I haven't seen it. Yes, he is a professional wolfer family. He's not going to debate. He asked me today to go live, and then he punked out and then waited 9 hours and went and scraped up some minimalist foolishness and brought it back. And I destroyed it, just like took it, crunched it up, crunched the bones of it, and spit it back to him. And I told him, give you 24 more hours. I'll give you 24 more. Bring me something or concede. Bring us something or concede. Here, I'll give you a little quick run through it right quick. I'm going to send it to you, family, too. I'm going to send you the whole post and the video I did on it. And then his rebuttal, which I can destruct in like 2 minutes right now for you, just giving you the review. He said, fam, prove Abraham lived or died, or prove anything about it. I said, that's easy. I'll give you his resting place. The Bible, Genesis chapter 18 through, I think, chapter 23 or 25, all documents this undertaking of Abraham dealing with purchasing a field in Hebron near the Oak of Mamre, all for the purpose of him, when he goes and kicks the bucket. Now, that place, it says in the scriptures that the brother is there. That's where he's laid to rest. Now, I showed him and told him the same thing, obviously, that Ron told him. The cave of Machpelah, Caveofmachpelah, cave of Machpelah. This cave has over the top of it a building structure. It's like a mosque. Garfield said the grave site is from the 12th century. It's fake. I said, that's terrible. The building on top of it may be from the 12th century or whenever. But I said, what's inside that structure covered with a green sheet has never been excavated. It's only been protected and documented in the Bible to be the place of resting for that man. The cave of Machpelah, which is now had a whole complex built on the top of it, like all of these Catholic people and all of these Masons and all of these people do when they get a religious site, they build a church over the top of it so that they can monetize it and then politicize it and then pseudoize it. You dig? So I pointed him to this thing. Again, if Ron said it before, it was confirmation that you're hearing it now from me, being that I didn't hear Ron say that at all. I haven't seen a lecture or any teaching about it, but I've got many books that talk about that. I can show you my sources where I got it from about 15 years ago. But at any rate, I said to Garfield, debunk that. I showed him the pictures. I said, debunk it. Hey, Miss Beverly. I said, debunk it. Do your best. He goes and brings me his minimalist hit list, Brother Micha'EL. William Devers, I think. Night Train, what's happening, family? William Devers or somebody. And then he goes to the old okie doke man, Finkelstein, who is definitely not an ancient Hebrew descendant. I don't know why this guy keeps doing that. And it's so clear that Finkelstein is Jewish. How are you letting a man write an article and tell you that Abraham is his forefather, but the story really ain't true, so he don't believe it, so he becomes an archaeologist in the name of truth. But he ain't an Israelite. He ain't a Hebrew. Finkelstein. Finkelstein is Jewish. Austrian, Polish, Hungarian, Russian, all of those things. Jewish, German, whatever. So he brings me Finkelstein and this other nut, William Devers or whatever. I said to him, William Devers is a minimalist and not a leading archaeologist and has no work on the subject. He said he did. I said, present it. William Devers has no goddamn work on the archaeology of the cave of Machpelah. There's not been a shovel full of dirt that's come out of that place. No real archaeology, just pseudos using a pseudo ray. And I'm going to explain to you in just a second before we get to this topic what the pseudo ray is. I said to him, is this your only proof? He brings me Finkelstein's use of a high frequency type sonar image. I said to him, an archaeologist using a high frequency machine to find out what's in a actual site is just like a mechanic under the hood of a Ferrari with a hammer. I'm gonna say it one more time. An archaeologist in a real archaeological site where there could be a dig and some, lobbying for you to be able to go in there. If you claim that you're a descendant of the Hebrews, you want to see what's in there. They won't even let you in the building almost, but you bring a high frequency machine. A high frequency machine. My lady's a cosmetologist and they use high frequency machines to remove wrinkles out of women's faces. I said, a archaeologist using a high frequency machine on the archaeological site that should be used with a shovel is just like a mechanic under the hood of a Ferrari using a hammer. You shouldn't be there. You don't know what you're doing, and you're not worthy or qualified to be there. All of those things fit Mr. Finkelstein concerning this. Garfield also said in 1981, someone went down there. To a fool, that would be an answer. But I said, what's the someone's name? He doesn't know. They only produced a blueprint of the church built on top of the site and a terrible wave image that came from Mr. Finkelstein's high frequency machine that I told you is not worthy of archaeology. Granted, the cave of Machpelah is a very protected place, but Finkelstein should be able to yield more than an Israelite that's never been to Hebron. My research should be so much more lower than Finkelstein's. It should be obvious. But right now, Finkelstein and Michael are at a stalemate. Why? Because neither Michael or Finkelstein or Mr. William or Garfield or Ron Devine have ever peeked under that green sheet that's in that building covering the cave of Machpelah. None of us have. And I said, not a shovel full of dirt has gone out of that place. So I gave you the proof, the who, the what, the when, the where, and the why. And your Gentiles, his source is Finkel's. That's crazy right there. I just said it, and nobody even honors what I just said as a source from Garfield. Finkelstein using a high frequency machine, not going into the actual site, but only on the premises, which produced a blueprint of the inside of the building built on top of the site, and using a high frequency machine, which women use to remove wrinkles out of their face. He used it to produce an image of a shallow portion of what's behind or under that green sheet. That's it. Nobody went under the sheet, dug up a shovel. He told me William Devers went down there and did all of this work on it. William Devers has no goddamn work on it. William Devers only has work saying that you should listen to him as a qualified archaeologist but all they're doing is writing pseudo bullshit in Haaretz newspaper. Excuse me, family. hmm Give a source. I told them. That's what I told them. I reject all of the bullshit that you just gave because it's subpar. I gave them 24 hours, fam. I said, come back. Before I start laughing at you, making videos about you, and you're doing satire and all that, you know, before I do you like that, we're going to give you a chance. Now, if I bring you an archaeological site that has to do with the exact place that the Bible geographically positions this man's tomb, and you can't debunk it, you must concede or keep arguing like a goddamn fool and further discredit yourself. So I gave Garfield, I said, 24 more hours. I'll give you. Try again. Try again. Go find another minimalist that maybe has been there and stuck a cell phone up under the sheet and captured a picture. Yes, he set himself up, brother, for failure. And he didn't even see it coming. I mean, I allowed him to paint himself right into a corner. Garfield is a terrible pseudo scholar and literally used a pseudo ray. Family, I said a high frequency machine on an archaeological site is equivalent to using a pseudo ray. Archaeologists use their hands. They use hammers and chisels and shovels and string to grade land and ground. Huh? They lobby governments for the right to excavate sites. They don't write fucking letters in Haaretz newspaper and use a high frequency machine and then send a fool out on a fool's mission. I told him, I give him, I want him to please try it again. Try it again. Because I really want to know, because I'm going to hold him to, you said 1981 someone went in there. It wasn't Finkelstein, obviously, and it wasn't Mr. William, obviously. Who was that someone? Or was you just making up shit? I think he was just making up shit because he was bleeding. But check this out, family. Now let me touch the topic. Because these Negroes and Kemet, I told y'all, thank Brother Polite and Garfield for this World War III that's about to be opened up this summer. Thank Brother Polite and Garfield. They went out on a limb talking crazy about God. No, they didn't. It's not personal. It's not personal. It's business and it's spiritual. Okay? Church, you feel me? It's not personal. But they did the shit first. They got to debate with the Christians, and so they've gone crazy, saying all kind of nasty, ridiculous foolishness about our God. Whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Hebrew Israelite, we all believe in the same God. You better believe in the same God if you're a Muslim. And if you're talking about you came from the loins of Abraham and you're following that order, I don't care if your dialect is different. I'm talking about the spirit. You better be talking about the same God. Mm. Family says, how did that go, the debate? It didn't go because Garfield is scared as hell. And I told him this morning, I said, you have a special anointing to be slippery. You are anointed, smeared with anointing from Lucifer. Yes, you are anointed of hell to be slippery. When somebody nails down a corner securely, you run to the opposite side of the room and find another part of the carpet that needs to be nailed. Then when I come Nail it down, you jump to the other corner of the room. A nut. Yes, it's very irritating, brother Mike, brother Micha'EL, excuse me for that. Very, very, very irritating, brother Micha'EL. It's irritating that they don't have nothing to stand on. And when we break down all of the bull crap that they do stand on, they are willing to throw it away. Hmm? They're willing to throw it away and become total heathens and keep the poor people that's been following them at a deficit. These people, stupid people out here today, don't even know 4 years ago we dealt with all of this autofellatio and stuff. And I show people the stuff today, and it's just like they never seen it. That means they done had babies and didn't teach them better. See? And then Garfield, he used to be Kemet, used to be everything. But then when he saw the degradation that we brought out, then he throws it down. Oh, I'm not Kemet, brother. Well, if you ain't Kemet, stop attacking the Bible and point out autofellatio. God damn it. Huh? If the Most High would have ever been written about in that Holy Bible doing autofellatio, or ever been written in a picture form in that Bible doing autofellatio, I'd be an atheist. Hmm? That's terrible. You got your children looking at that as a culture that you breed and that you're proud of. You got all this crap hanging up of Geb in your house, but then you find out that Geb does autofellatio. And not only Geb does it, but Osiris does it. He is the soul of Re. He is the praise of Re, with whom he himself copulated. Osiris, the soul of Re, the sun. Sucking your own penis metaphysically. See, these new babies don't know nothing about that. And so, in order to combat that, they won't teach against it. They won't teach it. What they'll do is insult those that tear that shit down, like myself. They'll insult you. Like I'm showing a brother, this freaky, nasty culture produced this. Then they point at me. But I'm not a Kimite. Y'all are. That's y'all stuff, man. I told a brother, listen, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna touch the topic and then we're gonna do something. I told the brother the first metropolitan cities, yeah, they was pissed. They still pissed. They pissed today. Jabari came on my post today. He mad. Yes, Night Train. See? And I told him, I understand, even like the Papyrus of Tamanu and all of those things that talk about the creation and mass and matter and weather and the coalescing of those things, that can be taught without a picture. You don't have to draw me a picture of Geb with an erection up to the sky and his sister over the top of him, nude as the sky goddess. Geb is the earth. Nut is the sky goddess. She's having an incestuous pornographic moment on Papyrus, all while Shu, the father, the wind, he's off to the side on the Papyrus watching it. No, if you're an intelligent society, you can teach that without pornography. You can teach it through mathematics, philosophy. You don't use pornography and autofellatio and all. Watch this, family. I'm going to put this on a t-shirt. The first metropolitan cities, you can find this in history. Look it up, everybody. The first metropolitan cities with densely populated, cities, and running water was in Ur of Chaldees in Sumeria, not in Egypt. Watch this. The first full burials with an Ankh, a Shin ring, and a Uraeus, three cultures in one grave, burying it by a king in Nubia, not in Egypt, in Nubia. Here's a source so you can find that. I give it all the time. Lost Land Emerging by Dr. Walter B. Emery. It's a book. Kemet ain't the first to do anything but teach science, linguistics, and philosophy through pornography. Y'all ain't feeling what I'm saying. Huh? Let me move on and let me touch the subject, and then we're gonna give the benediction. Now, black on black crime, family. Black on black crime. Who was the first culture to nurture that? Was it the rolling avenues in Los Angeles? Was it the early Crips that came from the rolling avenues? Most of y'all don't know what the Crips came from, but that's what happened. Craig Munson slapped slapped a poor brother in the face, the brother that founded the Crips, ran him out of his garage, and the brother said, we're going to start our own gang. Since we can't be avenues, we're going to be Cribs. And that's where you get Crips. We won't talk about Cribs versus Crips right now. That's not important. But was the inception of gang banging and black on black crime in Compton, in LA, or did it happen in Egypt? Let's talk about Narmer just for a second. Narmer, Narmer, and the Narmer palette. What is on the Narmer palette is a king murdering another black deposed and conquered king. Most likely a Nubian or an Ethiopian. Banging his head with a mace, not about to knock the poor man's brains out. And all of this is for the sake of unifying lower and upper Egypt. Black on black crime. Narmer blasting his brother in the head with a mace. That's like hitting your op or your enemy in the head with a sledgehammer. Another black man. This was exalted and put into immortalized canvas in stone. Gang banging. Narmer. Not Craig Munson. Not Tukey Williams. Narmer in Egypt. Black on black violence. Let's talk a little bit about the thumbnail. A light-skinned so-called Asiatic and a dark-skinned Nubian, both bound and conquered, probably going to be killed after this picture was made of them. And wait, let me make sure we also understand the barbarity and the butchery of Narmer on the Narmer palette. On the flip side, don't get caught up in looking at the sauropods, the big wild looking beast on there. Look at the fact that there are other black men beheaded on the palette, beheading black people, and then you're knocking one of your black brothers' brains out with a mace. Again, let's go back to the other one. A bound, light-skinned black Asiatic and a dark-skinned Nubian. All the product of the goings on in Egypt in the ancient days. Somebody told me earlier when I showed them this, they said everybody's always had wars and conflict. I said, of course, but damn, when was the first black on black conflicts? Was it in Compton or was it in Egypt? Hmm? Hmm? I'm telling you, everything I discover and uncover about that place says death, says perversion, says ridiculous. Tanito, what's happening, fam? Peace to you. It says black on black crime. I'll show you another abuse of black people. I talked about it a little bit earlier. Poor, stupid Annie. Y'all know the papyrus of Ani, the going forth by day, the book of the dead. Ani, poor Ani. The priesthood of Kemet, you come in. The priesthood of Kemet abused poor Ani. What's that?
Do you want the ice cream Snickers? It's like has caramel and nuts in the ice cream.
Yeah, thank you.
And then you want two.
Brother Polite
you can have
said
three.
I
You can
can't.
have three, and then you can have three.
Well, thank you. Brother Polite said I'm not supposed to have this kind of stuff.
Why?
Oh, what was I saying? Oh, poor stupid Ani. Sorry, y'all. These ice cream bars look good. Boy, I want to eat these, but I'm gonna wait. I gotta talk about this. Poor stupid Ani. Ani believed so much so in the cosmologies and the stories and the foolishness of Kemet that Ani had the Kemet priesthood make that document, that very, very comprehensive document for him personally to get him through his death so that he can have life. But today in 2019, all of these nuts, after I've shown them autofellatio in there, after I've shown them a snake with black feet in there, after I've shown them all of this other stuff, Ray being crapped out of the butt of the celestial cow every day. I show you all of this foolishness in there that cannot be misconstrued as science. Then they say it's all mythos. It's all philosophy. We can explain it. But did y'all tell poor, stupid Annie that gave you his life earnings to get him into and beyond the hereafter? Annie thought that shit was real. But y'all are saying today openly that it's only mythos. Somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. Somebody's pseudo. And I'm telling you that these poor people that I'm dealing with today and bringing this stuff out about, they won't talk to you about that, about how Annie was abused by the Kemet priesthood. Hmm? The Kemet priesthood stole Annie's money. They probably sold his organs like these white people do to our young children and die over here. Shit. Poor, stupid Annie. But the black on black crime, y'all done scammed Ani for all of his money, his burial money, to make him a book full of shit. Excuse me. Y'all don't even believe in it today. Narmer beating the hell out of his neighbors, his black brothers' neighbors. Black on black crime. Two noticeably black people on that thumbnail, bound, fettered, probably on their way to death. All again a product of Egypt. And all of this silly shit is what y'all threw away God for death and dirt and cobwebs and mythos and nothing and homosexuality. The golden beetle, you know, that man with the bald head, and he comes on camera with his nipples out, got the first gay Kemetic temple. Him and Jabari running conferences together. Excuse me. I'm sorry, y'all. But let me get out of here. Boy, this thing here is good. Can y'all hear me crunching this? I gotta hurry up and get off this because I don't want to be smacking in HD. I told Tazaria, you be making me want to throw up when you be smacking on camera. I can't stand to hear a brother popping his mouth when you're talking. Woo! So y'all listen to me. World War III, intellectual World War III. Y'all think Brother Polite and Garfield? Because we about to do it.